How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. All right. Well, we're here today because you have some very, very exciting news about Just Like My Child and Girl Power Project.
Yeah.
All right. You want to talk about it a little bit?
What would you like to know?
All right. Well, I think the most important thing is for those of you who don't know us, this is Vivian Glick and I'm Mike Koenigs. We're married, and Vivian has some very, very important news about, first of all, well, let's just start from the beginning. What just happened today, and what are you so excited about with regards to the Girl Power Project?
Well, a lot of things have been percolating. First of all, we have been working in Uganda for over 13 years, and most emphatically with adolescent girls over the last 10 years with a program called Girl Power Project, which is really focused on keeping girls in school, avoiding forced child marriage, rape, disease, etc. All of the obstacles that keep a girl from continuing her education and the ramifications of a girl being forced out of school too early affect all of us. She has more babies before she's ready. Her education stops. Her economic development stops. The children whom she does have do not have as good outcomes as the children of those girls and women who get to have their full education. Even an additional year can save a girl from having one additional child that will be a financial burden on her and the family, etc. And so every step that we're able to take to keep an adolescent girl off of the cycle of poverty improves the outcomes for the entire planet in terms of climate change, in terms of financial stability for entire nations, family health, etc. And so we've been doing this work for a long time. It's a replicable curriculum of girls' empowerment that we have been able to implement in over 100 schools in Uganda. And we got kind of scientific about it because doing a nice thing is nice, but how do you know that it's really working? And so we've been able to bring a team of postgraduate students from Texas A&M University to the ground in Uganda to do full-on data analysis, interviews, and surveys with community members to find out what the shift is in terms of attitudes towards girls. We've also been able to do our own monitoring and evaluation where we've interviewed hundreds of girls at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the program, which takes place over a 2-year period of time, and proving that girls' attitudes about themselves, their prospects for the future, their ability to find support within their community, to know how to prevent pregnancy, rape, etc., drastically shifts as a result of going through this program.
All right. And what that means ultimately is not only is it a good deal, but it's been validated to actually work. And the other thing that I know you shared with me, because we're married, is that not only did Texas A&M get behind this, but Oxford, USC, London School of Education. And why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So we have just been able to produce a paper that is going to be academically published, and it is supported by, and the authors are a tenured professor from USC, of course, a very tenured professor from Texas A&M University. We have a colleague who is now involved with University of Oxford, who is on the paper, along with the London School of Economics, and what is the last one that they're?
London School of Education.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. And ultimately, you've also been recognized by Obama's Let Girls Learn, Clinton Global Initiative. You've raised money from a lot of places, but what this enables you to do is take things to the next step. And that's part of the exciting thing is, there's two things. Part of what's happening in the next week and also the good news from a financial perspective. So why don't you talk about that?
Yeah. I mean, there are 130 million girls who are out of school on the planet right now. And when you take a look at what happens when you can keep a girl in school and have her be educated everyone agrees you don't really have to do anything else in terms of family health, financial resources, et cetera, and especially climate change. There's all this data now that for every year a girl stays in school, CO2 emissions go down because she's having fewer children and she's using fewer resources and using them in a better way. So I am all about Girl Power Project going global. And that is our vision. That is what I'm calling our crazy big dream, that we go from having this operation in Uganda, which has been a 10-year beta, and hundreds and thousands of people have benefited from our programs there, to really being able to prove the efficacy of just what happens when you empower a girl to stand up, to have a voice, to have a vision for her future. And that makes all the difference. So we're really in a position now where we want to go global with Girl Power Project. And we're so excited because we want to go to the top. We want to go big. So tomorrow I'm actually leaving for Washington, D.C., where we have been lucky enough to secure appointments with the Obama Foundation and the Global Girls Alliance, which is basically Let Girls Learn from the Obama administration, has moved into the foundation, to talk to them about the potential of partnering and bringing this programming to their partners. Peace Corps, which is in dozens of countries and has hundreds and hundreds of volunteers deployed every single year, who might be able to take this curriculum and start spreading it. We want it to go viral. We want to let it go so it can grow. And we're also going to be meeting with the Malala Foundation as well. As you know, Malala is the word in girls empowerment and girls education. And she and the organization have made major inroads in how we view the importance of a girl. So our ability to sit down with them and talk about them being able to bring this scientifically proven curriculum to their partners, it's a dream come true.
Right. Well, the next thing that I think is important is you have made a connection with a potential financial contributor. And I think that is worth mentioning as well, which ultimately none of this matters if you don't have money to deliver the programming.
Yeah. So we're so excited because we just had an offer from a donor of ours whom we've known for several years, who basically said to me, Vivian, if you can raise $250,000 by the night of your fall event, which is November 10th, we're hosting, and Mary Morrissey is going to be our keynote speaker, and we're going to be honoring our angel investors, our dream team, we're calling them, of donors who've donated $10,000 or more in 2019, and it's going to be in La Jolla, California. He said, Vivian, if you can raise $250,000 by that night, I will match $250,000, which is an incredible benefit for us. It cuts the sort of amount of work that we have to do in order to raise that money in half so that we can really focus on making a major contribution for girls. So we're super excited. Every single dollar donated between now and November 10th will be matched.
Very exciting. Very exciting. And so I'll officially say right here that I'll be $10,000 in.
Wow.
So there you go.
Wow, honey. That's awesome. Thank you. So that's $20,000.
Yeah, right on. Yep.
That's unbelievable. Doesn't it feel good to just double your money like that?
It does. It does. I have to admit.
We should all have investment opportunities like that.
No kidding.
An ROI.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's funny because when's the last time you doubled your money in less than 3 months, right? Yeah. And that's really what's exciting. Really, yeah, it really is in less than 3 months. So let's talk a little bit about where that money will go and what the vision is, because you will take this money. The big vision is to deliver girl power worldwide, and you've got the partners you're meeting with over the next few days. But also, what happens next?
Yeah, we have a couple of other partners who have approached us, particularly the Great Sioux Nation in South Dakota. We've been contacted by partners in the Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women's organization there. I mean, just that name blows your mind. Anyone who's paid attention to what's going on in the Native American community knows that it's like a third world country, a developing world. And the women who've approached us have suffered losses of having their family members disappear because of the gender-based violence that is so prevalent on the reservations. And they just know that this is what girls need in order to stand up, find their own voice, and be powerful within their families. Girl Power Project, in fact, they've mapped out what they need in terms of curriculum, and it's a checkbox for every single thing that Girl Power Project includes. So we really want to work with them to bring the training to them, and not just to give them a fish, but as they say, teach a woman to fish and you'll feed her for the rest of her life. Teach them how to teach girls in their community. So we're all about using this funding to create curriculum where we are training the trainers to go out and take this content virally. And we've also been approached by an organization that's very well established in Rishikesh, India, that, both organizations could reach 35,000 community members within a very short period of time. And we didn't mention this, but right now it costs us $100 a girl to put a girl through 2 years of Girl Power Project training in Uganda. The ROI is unbelievable. So we want to figure out a way to get on 3 continents in the next 12 months by empowering other leaders who are passionate about girls to learn how to do this themselves.
Okay, so that leads us to a little bit of, for people wondering, how does Girl Power work? So let's say someone makes the donation and they give. You've got all these connections. So as you said, Uganda was the beta, which has been going on for years, proving the efficacy that it works. Now it's about to be published by a major university with the backing of other universities, and you're meeting with these big organizations. So let's say someone donates today. How does this go out and actually change lives? And what is Girl Power, if you're going to describe the curriculum and how it actually works on the ground?
Sure. Well, I know that there are a lot of parents listening. And so if you really just imagine what it takes to empower your own kid or the children in your lives, it's really about having them understand their unique value and having them understand. We take it for granted here that we know that we have human rights. Children know that they have rights. And women know that they do have rights. And that is why we're finding our voice even more every single day. So the foundation of Girl Power Project is really about teaching communities, girls, and boys what their rights are. Because Uganda, for example, has a very rigid legal system. It's there. It's about employing it. It's about people knowing and understanding when the law is on their side. So the very first thing that we do is we teach people and we teach children about their rights and where they can leverage the law to be on their side. The other things that we teach girls in particular are about their bodies, how their bodies work, what puberty is. We all know that our kids have to learn this stuff. And when there's misinformation and sort of a resistance to teaching girls about how their bodies work, all hell breaks loose, really. So we have a big section on puberty, on reproductive health, on how they get pregnant, how they can avoid pregnancy, on peer pressure, what good peer pressure, bad peer pressure, leadership skills, how to stand up and find their own voice, how to become a leader. We also teach about financial literacy, which is 3 parts, which is super exciting, about how to save, how to budget, and also about how to create their own business, because most girls in the developing world have figured out some way to make money. Oftentimes, unfortunately, the only way they can do it is by leveraging their bodies, because it's the only thing that they have. But we're able to work with them to get excited about the tools that are around them that they can use to make money, because the difference between a girl having to use her body to pay for the basic needs that she has on a monthly basis, whether it's menstrual hygiene or basic food, refreshment or whatever, is $9 a month. $9. If she can make that money on her own, she's completely transforming how her body is utilized in the process of her growing up and ultimately her life, because she can easily end her life by doing that. And then we're also able to teach them about public speaking, about standing up, about the value of maintaining the integrity of their body, about what love really is. Girls are girls. They want to fall in love. They want to find the person who's going to be with them and take care of them and all of that. But we really help them to figure out where their value is. And there are many other components. It's a 60 hours of training over a 2-year period of time. And we really developed it based on what we believe and many organizations conceive of are the assets that adolescent girls need to know in order to advance, right? Like we know that an asset our kids could use is knowing how to read, right? That's something you can never take away from them. Knowing how to look both ways before you cross the street, that's an asset for a kid. And those assets become more complex as a child develops. So by the time a kid goes to college, you want to make sure that they know how to write an application, how to write an essay. Those are things that you can never take away from a kid. So our Girl Power project is really based on an increasing set of assets that girls need to know in order to survive and thrive in a developing context.
Okay. So this leads me to my next question, which I've got to ask you, number one, how many people have gone through this program? How many lives do you estimate have been saved or changed by the work that Just Like My Child and Girl Power has done?
So the overall work that we've done, we've been working there for many years, and we've built schools and a hospital and had a significant micro enterprise program. I would say that we have touched the lives of about 200,000 people. Without a doubt, we have saved lives of probably 30 to 40,000 people, women who have been saved in childbirth, families that have survived HIV and been able to build their businesses and thrive and send their own children to school. Within Girl Power Project, our goal is to reach 20,000 girls by 2021. And we estimate that there's this social networking theory that for every girl that gets this content, she's able to go out and reach at least 5 to 7 other people. Girls in particular, educate her own mother and her own family about why protecting an adolescent girl is important, etc. And so we see girls teaching 10, 20, 30, over 100 girls themselves with the same content that they learn. So when you invest in one girl, she's going to educate a nation.
Yep. And I've seen that personally when we've done our family trips. You've gone to Uganda now over 30 times. Mm-hmm. I've been there, I think 6 or 7 with you. I can't even remember the number now. Our son's gone 5 or 6, whatever the number is. And every time I see girls, and since we started going there, who were very shy, unwilling to look in our eyes, they'd look down. Now they look in the eyes, they command attention, they communicate, they're articulate, they're finishing up school, and they're actively engaged. And that's really, from my vantage point, some of the big changes that I see just in the individual girls. Mm-hmm. But I think maybe to wrap this up, what I want to do is send people to donate, and I'll make sure that we've been showing a link periodically, which goes to Just Like My Child. Also, for anyone who's watching this on social, we'll make sure there are links in the description to make a contribution. But there are other people of significance, and every investment, of course, is significant, who have made contributions.
Sure.
And we'll give them some shout outs here. So I'll let you rattle off some of the people, and whoever you miss, I'll bring them up because I've gotten them written down in front of me. So Do you want to begin?
Sure. So the major dream team investors for our for our work have included, of course, you, Mike. You were our first big investor and believer. And JJ Virgin, Lisa Sasevich, Mary Morrissey, Marnie Batista, Dr. Marisa Snyder, Jennifer Hootie, and I'm going to remember them. Ty Lopez has been a big investor in our work. And let's see, who else have you got?
We got Dave and Lana Asprey,
Yep.
Allison Maslin. I know there's so many more, and that's where my list tops off here on my end. But I know we've got a bunch more that we can acknowledge in comments on social. But what's important is a lot of people
Cynthia
have made
Pasquela Garcia.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah. So, and if you come up with more, just rattle them off here.
Okay.
But what's important right now, and I'll put up the link on screen, is you can head on over to justlikeMychild.org. There's also a link below that will send you directly to a donor spot. And for folks who want to potentially visit Uganda and see some of this on the ground, we do a couple trips a year to Uganda, or I'll say you make a couple of trips a year. Why don't you talk a little bit about an opportunity to actually go there and see this on the ground with you and what that involves?
Sure. So we actually do one trip a year where we accompany donors. We take a group of donors over to see our work and to just have a really incredible connection with the people and the girls themselves. I always say, come to learn, because you'll learn so much from the girls and the communities, and talk about resilience, about being able to survive and thrive in adversarial conditions. It makes you never, ever worry again. And so this year we're going December 7th through the 13th. We leave North America on December 6th, which is my birthday. And then we're get back on a plane on the 13th, and you're back in North America on the 14th. So for planning purposes, it's really December 6th to the 14th. We're on the ground for 6 nights in Uganda, and we go out to the communities. You get to meet the girls. We do a great thing called A Day in the Life of a Girl, where you get to go out and actually experience what they need to do every day, which is walk for water, wash clothes in a little basin, tend the gardens, cook, clean, etc. Your kids will never complain again. And then after we go through, we visit a couple of different communities for several days. Then we actually go and we have a safari in the northern part of the country, which is beautiful. You kind of get to cool off, be in air conditioning for a couple of days, get in a safari truck, see everything: elephant, lion, no zebras, but not in that part of the world. And it's right on the Nile River, because the source of the Nile is in Uganda. So it's an extraordinary experience. We get to do a little bit of shopping, of course.
Yep. And it is also very safe and very kid friendly, meaning if you wanted to bring a son or a daughter over the age of
13.
Okay. And that's important. But we've brought Zach there. I mean, we started bringing him there when I think he was 8 or 9. And, but for kids who you want to get them off social media, show them the value and the importance of giving back, get them fully engaged. It is an amazing father-daughter, father-son, mother-daughter, mother-son, or family affair. And many of our friends have attended and gone there again. There's security. It's very safe. It's a very peaceful country that speaks English. And there is some prep, but you educate on everything that goes on in that and make it really, really easy.
We're really good at getting people completely ready to go.
Okay. So I think the way we can wrap this up is, right now, the big push is, in order to achieve the $250,000 match, we need to raise $250,000. Well, $240 now, and whatever else is coming in. And then that's going to be matched. The deadline is November 10th, correct?
Right.
And then there's also an event that you have planned on that same time. So why don't you just describe that so we can wrap this up with a bow?
Sure. So on Sunday, November 10th in San Diego, California, we're going to be having a year-end event. We call it our Dream Crazy Big event, where we're going to be having cocktails, conversations, connections, and it's going to be from 4 to 8 p.m. And as I mentioned, Mary Morrissey is going to be our keynote speaker, who is world renowned on dream building. And she's taught me so much about focusing my vision on this dream to go global with Girl Power Project. And we'll be honoring those donors that are $10,000 and above. We're calling them our Dream Team Angel Investors. And those are the people that we mentioned: Dave and Lana Asprey, Dr. Marisa Snyder, you, Mike Koenigs, and a host of other people. And you'll be able to see that right on our website, which is justlikeMyChild.org/dreambig. You can find out more information about that. We also have a group called the League of Amazing Women, it's a membership group. If you visit justlikeMyChild.org/dreambig, the information about the event is there. It's only $97 a ticket. It's going to be a very intimate group. This is not like a huge, big, crazy gala. If you want to come, if you want to network and meet an amazing community, and if you want to make a difference in the lives of adolescent girls and find out what's really going on around the world with this, then I highly encourage you to come.
Yep. And I can speak from experience. It's a great experience. You put on a good event. There's a lot of abundance-minded, soulful women in the room who are really there to make a huge difference. So,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I will just say this. The next step is yours to take. So again, visit Vivian's website. There are links below in the description copy below for everything that we talked about here. I want to thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for participating. Thank you for your contribution, your donation, and thank you for all your support over the years if you've been a constant supporter of us, ours and Just Like My Child's.